Hello, space fans. This is Greg Allison from Galactic Gregs, and here tonight we're going to talk about something galactic. We're going to talk about Virgin Galactic. Galactic gone spectac. Maybe need some spackle because there's some cracks in the wings. And this is something that I have been concerned about from way back. I'm going to go into that in a little bit, and I will give you some little bit of history. I got history in this area, in this realm. But we're live tonight. I'm going to talk about Chinese rods from gods. Now I'm planning to do some more in-depth videos in each of these topics. I'm just doing this as an introductory live tonight, but I hope I get to talk about each topic separately in a special upload video, especially the Chinese topic. I've got a big lunar-based topic that's going to be related to this, guys. So just hang on with me a minute. I am live right now, so I'm going to update my screen here. It's in the wee hours. It is right now 16 January 23. Time on deck is 02/2400 hours Central Standard Time. So let's see, why is this not showing? I got a live video. There it is. All right, we got a few people in the house. 15. Cindy, Arnold, Mercy, and Grace. Too bad I didn't tell Colonel Cole that this was going to be the weapons talk. Yeah, he didn't know that. He would have came here if he'd known I was going to talk weapons here. I forgot to mention, how you doing, Captain Trips? So yeah, we're going to talk weapon systems. We're going to talk a little bit about weapons tonight because this is a space weapon that we're going to talk about. So it fits with Galactic Gregs, and it's something that's going to fit very much with why we got to go to the moon. Why we absolutely have to go to the moon. We absolutely need commercial space so we can afford to do these things. So it's important in commercial space to succeed. But commercial space is having a challenge. So let's go into this and have a quick look-see at some of these things. I want to share some screens, and we're going to start here. Except I want to skip over, there's some concerns with these wings. Let's give you a little background. The Spaceship 2 that Virgin Galactic is flying had its origins in Spaceship 1. Spaceship 1 won the Ansari X Prize in October 2004. Almost 20 years ago, my friends, almost 20 years ago. I went to a space conference right after this happened, and all these space advocates, they were just bubbling. We're going to have space tourism in a year, space tourism in a year, yeah. Now, I'm a space advocate, but I looked at them and I said, So I'm also an engineer, and I've been on the inside of the development of these things. I says, no, it's not going to be in a year. It's going to take longer. Space is hard. It's going to be a lot more difficult. Oh, they got fuming mad at me. They wanted to take my head off. They were just so spitting mad at me. Rah. Okay, it's 20 years, and guess what? Just space tourism is just kind of sort of getting started, and it's already floundered. Jeff Bezos' rocket is grounded, and because they had it's just flown a few flights, and it's already had an activation of its abort system, and they've had, and Spaceship 1 flew off course on its so-called maiden voyage, and FAA has been into them, but they got bigger problems, far bigger problems than that. Now, I got a little background in this territory. For one, my team was involved in the development of the rocket that was on Spaceship 1, and I got the daddy of the Spaceship 1 rocket motor right here by my knee. The daddy of that engine. Let me show you guys, not the granddaddy, the daddy. The granddaddy of this one, the Spaceship 2, I guess. Let me stop the share for a second. Stop share, bing, bada, bang. And here it is. This is the HARC, Cat's Prize rocket engine, cheap access to space rocket engine. This is the solid propellant part of a hybrid motor. I actually walked in the Huntsville airport with this on my shoulder after 9/11. I did, in a regional space conference. And I walked in like I owned the place, and nobody said nothing to me. Don't like a weapon, does it? So his hot rod is grounded. That's true. It is. The one that Captain Kirk flew to space in the 90s. William Shatner, and a few other people. Ooh, my hair is all kind of getting in my face here. This must be dry here, sticky. I get static electricity. And see, I won a prize for the daddy of this motor, which is my Halo Space Launch 1 system. And it was the prize. It's from the National Space Society Space Pioneer Award for Space Entrepreneurship. And I spun off a company. I didn't get started with something like a PayPal fortune like Elon Musk did, but I started before Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, I did. I met Elon Musk. I was there when they rolled out their Falcon 1 rocket at the Air and Space Museum. All right, so just to let y'all know, I've been involved in that. I've been involved in space entrepreneurship. So I was involved in New Space before they called it New Space from the very inception. But I've also been involved in this other stuff too, as many of you well know. Is that like a sugar rocket? Oh, no, 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 no. This rocket motor has got hydroxyl terminated polybutadiene, which is the same fuel you find in military rockets, except it doesn't have the oxidizer, ammonium chlorate, figured into it. The oxidizer was separate. We use nitrous oxide, just like Spaceship 2. You might see one. Spaceship 2 is, Spaceship 1 is on that cabinet. Let's see if I can point that to the right part of it. Yeah, there it is. All right. Yeah, notice keep the place clean and orderly cabinet. That cabinet belonged to a shop that actually made the patches that flew on the space shuttle, the mission patches, those big ones you used to see in the cargo bay of the space shuttle. And when I got that from the property disposal, so it had a lot of the dies and tools and setups that they had to make that stuff. So that's actually a piece of manufacturing for stuff that flew into space. Okay, so all that said, the thing is, let me show you. I'm going to go to share again. Ding, ding, ding. Share, share, share. I just want to give you some background. I started the High Altitude Research Corporation, HARC. That's what this HARC CATS prize motor is from. We also had people involved in space, from my team, were involved in the motor part of Spaceship 1. Primarily Tim Pickens, Glenn May, Al Wright, Steve Mistakis. And we actually bid, a HARC bid, to do the engines for this spaceship. Not only that, we started our own team, which is in the list of contestants. And what you will find is, here it is, Altitude Research Corporation. I don't know if this website's still up. No, that website is not still up. Any event, and you may have noticed I've got some videos on this channel about our participation. See, I know most of the people on this list, or knew a lot of them. I knew a lot of these people and their TGV rockets. Yeah, this guy was no buddy of mine. I've actually bid as a sub to him on a contract for Ares 1 rocket instrument ring once. We won that, subbing to Raytheon. I'd have made some serious money. Canadian Aero, this is actually at the Alamogordo Space Museum. That picture there, I think, was taken there. They brought it there on an event that I was at. But they consulted my old buddy Conrad Dannenberg, the old German rocket scientist, for this rocket, because it was a modern redo of the V2 rocket, which the Germans call the A4, to be built in Canada. But it was going to be like a two-stage. It was going to have an upper stage, which is just going to be a crew capsule that separated, not really a full two-stage system. But they actually replicated the original V2 motors, including the injectors, which Conrad said, don't do it that way. It's not the most efficient way to do it, but they still did it the way it was done on the V2, just because they wanted to keep it historically the same. So I think the Canadian Aero was a cool team. Armadillo. This is the guy who wrote the software for Doom. John Carmack headed this up. John Carmack came close to funding my CATS prize rocket. I was actually in discussions with him about that. In orbital systems, Rhonda, Milleron, I don't think these guys were ever really serious, although they had some pretty good rockets. Pioneer rocket plane. This was Colonel Clapp, and also, oh shoot, I'm getting brain lock right now. I've interviewed him on my channel, and I can't think of his name. Anyway, guys, a lot of people in here I know involved in a lot of these ventures. So that's the spaceship. Anyway, so go back to this. What's the problem? Well, they had several problems. One, when they were, so you got to realize the guy who was the CEO and president of Elton owes you Rocket Man. There you go, Elton, okay. Yeah, Elton did the song, Elon built the rockets, right? I was building rockets before Elon built rockets. There you go, Nunu. So guys, here's the case. What I worry about is these long composite wings that are under such a tremendous load. And I'm an engineer, and I know that when a composite structure, this motor I just showed you is composite wound. It is a composite wound motor. We use composite mat fins for these rockets. So I know about composites. We use composites in our construction. So, this isn't some little bottle rocket. We had some major avionics, and we had a composite wound case. We had to vacuum bag it and do all the stuff you normally do. Our fuel was poured and vacuum pulled on it to pull the bubbles out. And we did all the steps that a major aerospace corporation does in building large solid rockets. And I've been to ATK in Promontory, Utah, where they build the biggest solid rocket motors on Earth, and our processes are just like theirs at the fundamental level. Now they have bigger equipment because they do bigger motors, but at the core of the processes are the same. Y'all want to be an awesome version of Rocket Man? Google it by Iron Horse. Oh, okay. Because Iron Horse. Okay, let's see what that is. Anyway, so guys, problem with composites is those fibers can crack. Stop the share for a second. The fibers, there's a lot of fibers in them. Well, these little fibers can crack. And when the fibers start cracking, when you're just looking at the item, that's almost impossible to see. It's hard to know when you got a lot of these little micro cracks. And that is a degradation of the strength of that structure. Composites are amazing. I mean, they're a lot stronger in many ways than steel and other metals, but it's asymmetric. They might be 10 times stronger in this direction, but only 1 time stronger or less than that on another axis. It all depends on the weave, how it's set, a lot of things. So composites are interesting. But when they start cracking, you don't always know. Now, when I was working for strategic defense, we were looking at smart composites that would self-diagnose, because we were going to weave fiber optics to them and basically run lasers to them and run it back through a ring laser gyro and look at the time in them. We were looking at ways to tell if you had the composites were breaking, because we knew about this problem way back in the 80s when I was working on this stuff. Mid 80s, that was known to some engineers, but Scale Composites didn't fully appreciate that. They built these composite wings, and you're coming in at high velocity from suborbital launch, and you're putting all that load on these big composite wings to slow your spacecraft down. I was concerned about that. I told George Whitesides. George Whitesides was the president and CEO of Virgin Galactic. I had previously hired George Whitesides to be the executive director of the National Space Society. I know George. Know him well. I told him this. I said, George, those wings are composite. They're going under tremendous loads. I said, you cannot tell how much they're going to crack and fracture. I don't know how long these will be good for, but they should be considered limited life items at the very least. You can't just think you're going to be flying this stuff over and over and over and over and over, and you're going to be safe. He said, oh, well, take that up with the engineers, take that up with this guys or that guys. Well, I wasn't on that team. I wasn't part of that group. So I told the guy who was the president, you know, try to get his attention. And he kind of kicked that can down the road a little bit. I hope that they took it and looked at it. But I also told him, well, I saw their drawings for the, you know, they built a spaceport in New Mexico. Originally, they had the refueling center right under the visitor center. They were going to be down here in the under the lower deck refueling the nitrous oxide in the spaceships, and the people were going to be up here milling around right in front on top of it. I said, oh no, George, that cannot be. You cannot do that. You absolutely got to stop that. That's got to be somewhere else. I said, that is dangerous. This is before they had the explosion that killed my friend who used to work for me in Hark and wound up working for Scale Composites, which built Spaceship One and was developing Spaceship Two when they did a cold flow test of Spaceship Two in the Mojave Desert. Cold flow test. The tank exploded, killed 3 people, Lynn May being one of them. So this is, you know, pretty serious stuff, guys. I'm prepping clothes for trade. There you go. I like material when fiber matters. There you go. So, you know, Greg, where's Matterman's wrench? Oh, okay. We'll fix that. Give me a second. Ding, 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 ding. Add moderator. You're smurfed on another channel. It makes 3 channels you're smurfed on, Matterman. So these are very important considerations from the standpoint of safety and reliability. Well, it turns out that they're apparently in worse shape than I thought, because they're actually seeing cracks. And these things only flew a very few times and are already seeing cracks in the wings. If you can see the cracks, in fact, they saw cracks after the first flight. And these things have been flown and they're seeing more cracks. I would not want to fly on a vehicle where the wings are cracking even after one mission. If I know the wings are cracking on one mission, they might snap. Even on mission 1, mission next. I don't not consider this safe. I do not consider it safe. You know, they could have other failures. There's other failure modes. The nitrous oxide tank is pressurized to 750 psi. It's a ginormous tank sitting right there in the very back of the crew cabin where all the people are sitting. Now, composite tanks don't fail explosively, blowing open typically, unless the bulkhead blew out. And that would be awful. It'd blow the whole ship up. They usually, their main failure mode is seepage. If all the crew suddenly got real happy and started giggling and laughing, I think I'd take them home in a hurry. That's a failure mode in progress. It could go really bad. It could then explode. Which Smurf? You're smurfed again, Matterman. I've been here since 18 without a wrench. Hey, done pull my finger. People that ask for a wrench usually don't. That's a rule for not giving a wrench. But when mods, you know, request a wrench for somebody, then I think about it. But, so pull my finger. You have been around a while. All right, we'll keep an eye on you. Pull my finger. We'll put you in the queue for consideration. It's not a popularity contest, or it shouldn't be. I've been accused of running a popularity contest. Cool. All right, guys. So this is the things to consider. This is serious. We need space, commercial space, because the government just can't pay for everything. I mean, we got to do a lot of stuff, and it's more than we should ask the government to do. And it shouldn't even be the government, in my humble opinion. But commercial space needs to be responsible and responsible for safety. You could wind up with a Hindenburg type event where something blows up, everybody just goes, we don't need fly airships anymore, which I consider most unfortunate. I love to see major airships out flying around. Well, we don't see that. You might see a blimp, but I love to see them 400-foot long airships like they had in the 20s and 30s, you know. Well, that'd be great, but we don't get to see that. Thank you, Hindenburg. I'm a good G-man. All right there, pull my finger. All right, so let's go back to share again. I just wanted to explain this about the fibers. It's crucial, but they're cracking. And those cracks, I'm going to do a dedicated video on this, but I'm probably going to about say the same thing. Maybe show a few more credentials. I don't know. But I'll show a few more right now. Hang on, guys. Go back in here. Ding, 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 ding. Here we are, guys. What are they saying about this? They're saying the wings are cracked like eggshells. Yeah, that is not good, guys. Even the carrier vehicle may have cracked wings. It's got these big, long, spindly wings, guys. Well, Richard Branson had a great dream, but he may have bit off more than he can chew here. Space is tough. Space is tough. I'm not going to read the article. I don't have to. I know enough about this because I got background in this. I had forewarned the top executive at Virgin Galactic about this long ago, 20 years ago. All right, guys. There was Ansari X Prize. Here is my team. Close look at the Liberator as published in the spacereview.com article /64/1. A closer look at the Liberator. He had done an earlier report on this. And let's see here. Huntsville, Alabama bills itself as the Rocket City. The city and doesn't miss an opportunity to remind visitors of that. Anyway, he goes in some detail about that kind of stuff. This is a link to his earlier article on the topic when Tim Pickens and I announced this Liberator rocket that we were planning to build, which actually used a kerosene burning, regular kerosene, diesel fuel actually, LOX oxidizer, regeneratively cooled liquid injection thrust vector control system. It was a 12,000 pound motor, more powerful than what was on the rocket used by Burt Rutan to win the X Prize. We started this project a little too late to get the funding because we were going for the X Prize, and Burt Rutan was ahead of us schedule-wise, and he beat us. So it was hard for us to pull together the funding, but you'll see in here quite a bit of stuff about this project. Now there's some pictures. See, when Allison and Liberator project, so I was the president of HART. The project manager of this project was Tim Pickens. So when we were in LA, and the pitch we made there. So, and that's what's in that other article you cited. So this is a 2-page system. I'm thinking there's a continuation page here somewhere. There's actually a photo page if I can find it. So I'm not finding my links here. Should be a continuation. All right, there's something wrong here. I should have a link to the other page. Let me just put 2 up here. Might take me to it. All right, there we go. Why did we no page link to this page? That's me, wearing black, short hair. That's Tim Pickens. That's our capsule. That's the rocket, one of the rocket motors. That's one of the rocket motors. This is a fuel tank. All right, let's see if I can find the pictures link in here. All right, here it is, gallery of images. There we go. That's where I was trying to go. Here we go. We had our capsule wrapped, and we unwrapped it. We did an unveiling. That's me. That's Tim. Let's see. Where do you scroll through these pictures? I mean, I got to scroll back out and scroll down. I can't just scroll through them. That was our escape tower. This is a mock-up of our capsule, by the way. That's me. That's Tim. That's a tank motor. See our logo HART, Orion Propulsion, which is another company as Tim started. That is me with the X Prize representative that was there at our facility in Gurley. That's Greg Marinack and Greg Allison. There's Tim Pickens. I've had him on this channel a few times. There was our rocket team, and I'm walking through introducing all these guys. I'm doing a passing review of our rocket team. That is Steve Mistakis with our flight simulator. We had a flight simulator for this thing. This is a plexiglass hybrid rocket motor we did a fire demonstration for. There's Greg Marinette, and there's Conrad K. Dannenberg, Conrad Klaus Dannenberg. He designed the injectors on the V2 rocket. He was the guy I was talking about earlier, who also was an advisor for the Canadian Aero team. And yeah, I used to get the man's Christmas turkey quite a few times. Why is this not scrolling back? Oop, it went too far. There we are, just kind of milling around. So this was our facility in Gurley, Alabama, way out in the middle of nowhere. Full pics. So I'll have to show this again later. I need to do a dedicated video for this, guys. But we were the real deal. We were new space before there was a word for new space. All right, I'm going to go change topics here. We're going to go. So I'm just showing that, guys, we were part of this. I was a big part of it. And I was also a space advocate. I also was the chairman of the policy committee of the National Space Society. I ran the halls of Congress, lobbying for space, both commercial and otherwise. And, you know, I showed you all my article in our magazine, Ad Astra, once upon a time. Let me do a stop share, and I'm going to come back and change topics. And y'all know I have Galactic Gregs, Green Gregs. I've had a knack for alliteration, as I've always had. This article was written like 13 years ago concerning constellations, cancellation, Congress, and camels. And yeah, the camels are part of the article. Camels are part of the article. He designed a chemical fired pump on the V2 also. It was turbo pump fed. Greg, you and Rex be firing off rockets this summer. I don't know, New Days. We haven't really picked up discussion. I haven't talked with Rex much lately. We were talking about doing that. I don't know. My life is so intensely busy. That would be hard for me to handle. It really would. I got so many irons in the fires, guys. So we're going to change topics. I have been telling you guys about the threat from China, a threat, space camels. Not exactly, but yeah, it does tie together, believe it or not. I tied camels to space. But I've also, that was an object lesson, and more, that article was an object lesson on how space policy works, the reality of it, something a lot of people who claim to be space policy experts completely miss, and they lose. They don't get their way. I get what I got what I pushed for several times. I've had legislative success multiple times, including the definitions of the current program that has both that and this. I should do another video, just that topic alone. I have slide project. Hey, I got slide projectors. Yeah, I got a slide projector. Hey, Annie. All right, guys. So let's move on here. Let's move on and talk about China. I tell you guys that we have to build a moon base. We have no choice. It's not a matter of wants. It's got nothing to do with flying chopsticks. Yeah, there are chopsticks in orbit because the Chinese have their own space station, and they're building a power system that has 10 times the power of the International Space Station, a 1 megawatt nuclear reactor. The space station has 100 kilowatts of solar power. Well, this is very powerful, guys. Why do they need that much power? Their little space station don't need it. Most applications, like even for a good space tug, maybe 500 kilowatts, like the Russians were planning. No, the Chinese are planning 1 megawatt. Well, I know what they could use that 1 megawatt plant for. I'm going to do another. I've been putting the charts together for this for a while. Tungsten bowling ball. Oh, yeah. That would be scary. Tungsten's very heavy. And tungsten has been the topic of rods from God, but I'm going to show you how you can just smelt iron on the moon and shoot it at us, and terrific, horrible effects on Earth. But the rods from God concept, which was Project 4 in the United States by the U.S. Air Force, apparently has been mimicked and actually tested by China. Now, I'm about to show you the proof. Ding, 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 ding. What looks like it might be just that. Bing, there we go, guys. And you know, guys, I used to fly balloons. I flew high altitude balloons, launched rockets from high altitude balloons. I even thought about doing some little air vehicle drop tests, similar to that. But these are their military hypersonic tests. But this is believed to be their test for rods of God type concept to drop kinetic kill vehicles from high altitude, preferably space itself. And this may be titanium telephone poles. Exactly. Jerry Pennell come up with that idea, by the way. And he was a science fiction writer, among other. Well, he was an engineer first for Boeing. And the reason for the telephone pole size is because that was worked out as optimal geometry for the loss of less mass going through the atmosphere at orbital velocity. You would, traveling at orbital velocity through the atmosphere, you might lose 3% of the mass when your aspect ratio is 20:1. And this was cited by Henry Combe in his concept for electromagnetic railguns to launch payloads from the Earth into space. Well, now we're talking about turning that around and coming back down this way. That's why that geometry of the telephone pole was selected. But once you select the telephone pole and the dimensions of a telephone pole and put tungsten in it, you get one factor. I'm doing it from the moon with iron and showing you what China could do from the moon. And I know they know about it, guys, and it is really scary. And I'm going to do a video on that. Kim solves the energy crisis with new water rockets. Hey, Tim Pickens did a rocket called Hot and Steamy. Look at this, guys. Here it is. Oh, no, not a commercial. Oh, well, let's skip that. I don't want to show a commercial. But I'll have to do a directed video and where I can cut all this kind of junk out. But anyway, guys, StratoCat. That's a channel there. That's cool. All righty. So, guys, that was flown in a balloon. Balloons go 20 miles up in the atmosphere, up to maybe a little higher. Somebody was asking about this earlier about this Falcon launch. Here it is, guys. Falcon, it was a Falcon Heavy. That's what I thought. Cool. What the heck? So many sunspots. Oh, yeah. The Netherlands. Yeah, guys. A CME is coming. A minor G1 class geomagnetic storm is possible on January the 19th. All right, guys, we got CME alert, but it's just going to be a G1 class. It's not going to be the end of the world. Look at the sun. Oh, my God. It looks like the sun's got a pox. Holy smoke. Looks like the sun's got a serious pox. A pox upon the sun. Yeah, you're right. MERV from X-37B. Yeah, that's what the Chinese are afraid of. Why? Because that's what they're planning. Spaceship genie bottle. There we go. 3190, guys. That is a huge sunspot. Look at all this mess up in here. That stuff could blow up. It's got a lot of energy around it. CME is coming, guys. So, guys, we got to be careful of the Chinese. We can't afford to have them on the moon and us not be there. We got to be there. Make sure something crazy like that don't happen. Oh, look. Oh, looky here. The distance between this asteroid and Earth is 0. Wow. It's only 3 meters. That would suggest that it hit us. That must have just grazed us. But this has already happened, so I guess it passed us by. Now that is what I call a close shave right there. We had one the other day, back a few weeks ago, and showed 0. Fortunately, it's small, and this wasn't on here last time I looked, so they probably discovered it right after it passed by. Let's look at this thing. Let's look at the orbit. I think this thing has got let's go back and look at the velocity first. 15 kilometers per second. That's a pretty good velocity compared to Earth. So that shouldn't be too circular. It shouldn't be too like Earth. Oh, wow. It's only 3 meters. That would burn up in the atmosphere. That's a good thing. If it hit us, it would burn up in the atmosphere. Let's look at orbital viewer. Yeah, I told you it was bigger than Earth's view. It's almost out to Mars. Here's Earth. So it had a real close call to us. Very close. Come close to Venus, too. Wow. Wow, you could hitch a ride on this to go from Earth to Venus. Except it's too small to really hitch a ride on. Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about this one, guys. They had it colored bright red back here just because it's so close. But at 3 meters, I would say that's going to burn up in the atmosphere, especially at that velocity, unless it's pure iron. And then most of it will burn up. So here you go. Nothing else. That one was a little better than halfway between the Earth and the Moon. Nothing else that we know of is coming between the Earth and the Moon until past the 13th of March. It don't mean there's something we haven't seen yet, like that guy. Just discovered. See, it's already got a 23 number on it. So you know it's AV, you know it's discovered this month. Wow, guys, that's interesting. So it's the biggest one on this list of passes. I guess this is 149 meters. Yeah. Oh, no. This one's almost a kilometer. 756 meters. And it's fast, but it's going to be 12 lunar distances, so that's a good ways off. 147 meters, and it's only 4.7 lunar distances, but yeah, you ain't got to worry about that one. That's the 3rd of February. This is the 21st of February. But they're not close enough to worry about. I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep over any of this. I mean, hey, we could get hit. It could be the end of the world. One could sneak up on us. But the probability of being that bad right off is not all that great. I mean, over time it is. So we need another reason we need a space program. Why do we don't have dinosaurs? Well, they didn't have a space program. All right, I got some other stories I'm gonna bring you later. Stop to share. Hello. 3 in the morning. I got to get up a little bit, Greg. Maybe we'll have a big bang for our birthdays. There you go. I'd rather have a quick death, as they say. Well, let's hope that these things don't happen. Tesla's looking for a charging station. They need to find one that works in cold weather. They need to find what's going to work in cold weather. Hey, Hardneck, how you doing? Hey, guys, check out Hardneck's channel. She's got a good channel, guys. I just saw her video on her greenhouse. So go and check out Hardneck Farms. Go to her channel and subscribe to it. Bang the update notification bell and click all. She's got a cool greenhouse. She's growing a lot of stuff in it. She got a lot growing. I don't have too much in mine right now. Dinos are birds. That's right. There are birds. Birds are a subset of dinosaurs, or avian dinosaurs. It's a miracle we have even here. Amen, Nunu. It really is. Good morning, Hardneck. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, go check out her channel. Good channel. She's got a nice greenhouse. Name is Wendy. There you go. Nice to see you again, Wendy. Chickens are dinosaurs. That's right. Y'all eat dinosaurs. We eat dinosaur a lot. Makes us the top predator. Dinosaur, get your nugs. That's right. So have you hugged your nug today? All righty, guys. There you go. Thank you, New Days. New Days shared the channel. check her channel out, guys. Check out her channel. All birds are cool dinos. Yeah, a hummingbird. Now just think about a hummingbird and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Some birds are absolutely gaining. Yeah, I had a bird right here, a little silky chicken. Somebody brought me a silky chicken. I'm probably going to have some silky chickens soon. Maybe. If I do, maybe I can go like Ed on Prepper Nurse 1 and do an egg count on Green Greg's channel. There you go. Yeah, that's probably what you need for T-Rex. Eating dino fruit. There you go. That'll be it. Love birds. There you go. All right, guys. I think it's time to go. It's 3:03 a.m. here. I got to get up and go run worms tomorrow morning. So I got to get up early. I appreciate everybody coming here. We're at 45 in the room. That's cool. Consider this is our third switch tonight from Green Greg's to Swivelhead News and here. And it's late. Yeah, March right here. We're going to get chickens, but need to build a barn first. Yeah, I need a little bit of a coop or something. I got to place my rabbits. They need to add some chickens. You seen the price of eggs? Woo, you've gone astronomical. And some people, what I've been telling you guys on Green Ridge for a long time, price of food's going up. Right? Yeah, it's for a 4-year time. Yeah, that's like an internet, can't find a page era, 404 era. Some people say, Greg, what you predict never comes true. I hear that all the time. Well, I seldom actually make a prediction. I talk about what could happen. But I did say the price of food was going up, and it has. Absolutely. And probably will go up more. But look at the price of eggs. Holy smoke, guys. Holy smoke. Anyway, that's why y'all need to look at my links, guys. Get your farm set up. Don't let the worm beds bite. I'm a little worried. This cold snap may have hit my worms harder than I suspected. So we'll have to see. I hope they just dive down. Yes, that's right, Amy. Rings and sell them. There you go, Matterman. Max, thanks for like Grace. The price of food is gastronomical. That's about right. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all being here. Y'all take care. And go outside tonight and look up at the sky. We got a green comet going to be visible in a few days. I'll come back and tell you more about how to find that. It'll be visible in the northern sky in February. Between the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper, I'll tell you more about that to come. Green comet, naked eye visible, we hope. So let's hope we'll not have cloudy weather the whole time. That's using my luck. Good, Crazy John, Annie, Joe that you know, all prayers. There you go. Lost in Space. Good to see you here, Lost in Space. It's the right place for you to be. And new days, Captain Trips. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. And with that, I'm going to say good night and